I want to start with a quick question. The question is, does everyone present here want to be happy? Everyone here wants to be happy? Can you raise your hand if you don't want to be happy? No need for this. Yeah, all happy? Anyone wants to be unhappy? Yeah? Anyone wants to be unhappy? No. So everyone wants to be happy. Very good. Why people become happy and why the same people become unhappy? I told you, it's not going to be a one-way discussion.
The main thing is
Yep, can you use the microphone please? Right.
All depends on the situation they are facing in their life.
just like that.
Situations change, yes?
Yeah, so
Oh, and greed. That's okay. Yes, people are greedy. They become greedy. Okay. This discussion about the science of self-realization is broken into two parts. Next week, when we discuss the next session, we'll be discussing about how to be happy always. Today is the causes of unhappiness. That is our point. It has got direct relevance to our life. Okay. And in short, the answer is that the focus is always been on the temporary. And because they are on the temporary, there's always unhappiness. When the focus is something on permanent, then happiness remains forever. Stay with these points. These are some important points we're discussing. These are very important discussions and points which gives us how to lead life. Like you're studying in the university, so you have to give certain exams. You are taught A, B, C, D when you're a small child. Like this child will be going to school, yeah, A, B, C, D. Then after the kindergarten goes to school, more studies, and then they become, go to university. This helps us to understand how we should earn money and make our life so-called successful. But life to be successful is a concept which is different for different people. Somebody may think, if I become like Bill Gates earning so much money, only then I'll call myself a successful person. Similarly, somebody else may think, oh well, if I earn enough food, enough money, which will put food on my table, then for me this is success. Right? Now, understanding these things requires understanding of the subject matter. So this discussion, science of self-realization, what is the meaning of the word science? We have a microphone there, we saw from ladies. What do you think science is? Knowledge. Okay. Education. Very good, young man.
That's a gift from God.
You can start.
Gift from God.
Switch it on. Science is gift from God.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Very good. You start from a good premise. Right? Okay? And what is the meaning of self?
Soul.
Soul? Good point. She's going very fast. Self is soul, Atman. Yes. Anybody else? Anything? Yes? Identity. Yes?
Personality.
Personality. Very good. Very good. Soul, identity, personality, self. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. As the discussion will grow further, we will expand on these topics as well. Alright, very good. And what is the meaning of realization?
Understanding.
Understanding? Yeah, very nice. What else? What else? To know something which we do not know. Good point.
Knowing the truth.
Knowing the truth. Yes. Okay. Alright, good. Warmed up. Yeah, we all warmed up now. Alright. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Science means you observe something, based upon what you observe, you hypothesize to prove or disprove it. This is made up of what elements? So, there are elements. And then based upon the hypothesis, you prove or disprove it. That's a basic core function of science. Discovery. People say invention. But I have my own reservation on the definition of invention for science. Science can, so far it has discovered what existed. It has not discovered something which has not existed. So it's discovery. And let's keep it to discovery. Okay? Self, as we discussed, Atman, or the soul, self, yeah. Character. And realization is that knowledge. Any knowledge is realization. You say, looking for something, you said, that point, searching for something. That's right. Now we discuss this science of self-realization. Of this, which word stands out for you? How about you, young man? Which word stands out for you?
I don't know.
You don't know. Oh, that's a bit hard, right? You realize it soon. Yeah? What do you think? Which word stands out for you? What do you think?
Repeat the question.
Science of self-realization. We've got this definition of this. Which word stands out for you?
Self.
Self. For you stand out self, okay? Right? Anybody else, please?
Self for me too.
Self for you as well? Okay. Okay. Anybody else, please?
Experience and knowledge.
Knowledge. So realization? For you stands out? Realization stands out? Okay. Interesting. Very nice. You all are different thinkers, you know? Good. All is good, yes. Anybody else? Anybody else, please? Yeah? Okay. Oh well. Realization means realized knowledge. Now, happiness is related to knowledge. Do we agree? No. No.
No.
No. Happiness is related to realized knowledge. Or to knowledge. Yes. So we have all the ladies saying no. So we will have to prove it to them. I believe the same. They have a value to say no, and we have a value to say yes. So why do you think? Can you give a microphone? Thank you. Yes. So our point is that knowledge leads to happiness. Yes, could you
Yeah.
elaborate? Close your mouth. Thank you.
Like if we have knowledge, like we know something about the life and about those theories, and if something goes wrong with our life, and we know that it's all happening because it's our fate or it's from God, so we know something, so we will not be much unhappy. We say, okay, it happens, so maybe I have done something wrong.
Yeah.
So we already know that it all comes from God. That's why.
Okay.
So we are not much unhappy for it.
Are you happy with the answer? You happy with the answer? You want to counter this question?
Fair enough.
Fair enough. So you want to change your point then?
It's actually a different conception. It's actually
Yeah.
a different conception, different point of thinking.
Yeah.
So
What is your point of thinking?
my point of thinking is if somebody is knowledgeable, there is no guarantee of staying happy with the knowledge only.
Yes, good point.
Yeah.
I
So
have seen so many people.
Yes, she has seen so many people.
I
Yes.
have seen like so many people. They are PhDs and having like so many degrees, this and that, but still they are not happy. They are not satisfied.
They are
They have
unhappy.
everything, but still they are not happy.
They say more knowledge you have, the more problems you create.
And practically, I have seen so many people.
Yeah, right, practical issues. Now, sir, you have a counter in here. How would you like to respond to this?
My answer is same. Like when we know
Stop.
something,
Yeah. Yeah.
like actually unhappiness, but unhappiness and happiness, there is a big difference. Like
Switch it on, switch it on. On, put it on.
on the right side.
Yeah.
So actually, unhappiness comes to our life just to teach something to us. Like if I'm not unhappy, there's some reason. Like I'm unhappy because I have not done something good in my office, so I'm not satisfied. So I already know that I am not satisfied because this is the reason. So that unhappiness is teaching me every time that you have not done something good, and now you should do it right.
Okay. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Yeah.
That's a logical answer.
Logical answer. There's logic in your answer, sir. So you've got to take on it, you know.
Because I do lots of programming, so it all has logic.
Logic's in it. Yeah. My software programming is logical only.
Yeah.
You 1 plus 1 has to be 2. It can't be 4.
Yeah.
You know, unless you put another 2 or 3 in between. You know, whatever it is. You know? Yeah. Good point. All right. That's very nice. Now, modern science, every person walking the planet Earth, or even otherwise, whatever it is, they say, I like to understand this before I accept it. Science, I'm scientifically minded. I want to understand it better. Yeah? Same thing, they want to hypothesize. They see object, yeah? Based upon it, they put some hypothesis, and that is proved right or proved wrong. Proved right, then they are, okay, let's see, explore more. Okay. Now, let's understand the concept about us as a body. As you mentioned correctly, that so many so-called intelligent people who are PhDs or doctorates or whatever it is, they are unhappy people. So many of them are miserable. And as compared to them, those who are not so clever, they are more happy and laughing all the time. Some people will say they are fools, so they laugh all the time. Others will say, well, at least they're laughing. With your cleverness, what have you got? You know, better to be fool and laugh, rather than not laugh. Yeah? Now, every body, see, we have got this body. This young man has got a small body. He grows up to have this body, this young man. Then grows up to have that young man's body. We miss that young man there behind. Okay. Alright? Then we'll have to become young man's body. Young man, it'll become my body, young man. Alright? Each of these bodies, not only human beings, any body, they interact with matter all the time. Remember the first question that we asked, why people become happy and why the same become unhappy. And we discussed the point, we're going to discuss today that we are going to discuss about the temporary nature of happiness and unhappiness. Yeah? So here, everybody acquires knowledge. Now, how do we acquire knowledge?
Learning it.
Yeah, how do we learn? No, what do we use to acquire knowledge? Brain. What else do we use to acquire knowledge?
Memory, brain,
Memory, brain. Very good. What else?
whole body we use actually.
Yes, whole body. What do you use?
I think in learning we can use everything. Sometimes eyes and
Yes, explain this here. Eyes. What else?
body should be, I think everything. Eyes,
Nose, ears. Yeah.
Everything, yes.
Very good.
Sometimes we hear something, sometimes we see something.
Ears, we see something. Nose, we smell something.
Yes.
Right?
In other words, we can say we explore.
We explore. So we explore with these basic elements. What are those elements? Eyes, as you said, to see. Nose, to smell. Ears. What do the ears do?
Here.
Hear. Very good. Tongue to
Talk.
talk and taste. Very good. And skin to touch. Broadly speaking, these 5 are called knowledge acquiring senses. They are in the terms of senses, common for everyone. We acquire knowledge with these 5 senses. Right? And it is so interesting that many times, even if you close your eyes, you can still acquire knowledge through your other senses. There's many people, many times they voluntarily stop speaking for for some time, for a day or so, to see how they are coping with things. Not that we encourage this, but people do that. Yeah. And by the way, it's a good exercise for husband and wife
Yeah.
to have a no talking day.
Yeah. I think it must be compulsory for every husband.
Come with everyone.
Husbands can't dream that.
Oh.
It's a big dream.
Husband's granting that, okay. Now, this helps us why? With this one sense closed, how much understanding have we got of each other, we can realize it. See, there's knowledge in it, realization part of it. Yeah? So we are constantly, every moment of our existence, we are interacting with matter. And how interacting with matter? Interacting with eyes, nose, ears, tongue, skin. Constantly interacting. There is also, apart from this and above this, interestingly, there is something called mind. Do you have mind? Everybody has got mind? Do you mind, sir? Right? Do you mind, madam? So my question is, what is mind? Where is mind? Have you got the answer? Anybody, please.
Mind means central processing unit.
CPU.
All senses.
Control all the senses, CPU. Very good. That's a good answer, actually.
Relate everything with that IT things.
Yeah. He breaks down to all ideal things, logical things, right? Yeah, makes sense. So where is mind located? Yes? Yeah, very good, you're clever. Greed is a different concept. Okay? So where is mind? What is mind?
Is it an anger?
It's an anger.
Thinking.
Thinking? So where is thinking located? I'm thinking in my mind. I have to keep my mind at rest before I do this. Everybody, we use this all the time. So, where is mind? My education with my post-graduation degree never answered this question for me. I paid so much money to them and they couldn't answer this basic question to me about my mind. Where is my mind? Good question. They didn't answer. I should ask for refund from them. You taught me ABCD. You taught me so many things. My marketing degree taught me how to speak. Very good. But you didn't tell me how my senses work. You didn't tell me how to control the senses. You didn't tell me what is controlling the senses, which is mind, and where is it located. And now, above the mind is intelligence. What is intelligence? We all say, oh, you are so clever, very intelligent boy. So what is intelligence? Yes, sir.
Smart.
Smart. Very good answer. Clap for you. Well done. Smart.
And sometimes we just, judge a person according to his behavior, how he speaks,
Person according to his behavior?
how he talk, how
Yeah. That's intelligence. Right. So what is intelligence?
sharpness, like
Sharpness. A person may be sharp in talking, very sharp, but very bad in mathematical calculations. So you call him intelligent?
can be called.
Can be. This and that both,
Like I'm a person you're talking about. I'm not good in mathematics, but
Yeah,
I'm good
but I'm intelligent.
I am.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Right. I'm duffer in science, but I'm intelligent. Well, it's,
So
of
every
course.
person have his or her own experience.
Own experiences.
Yes.
That's right.
And expertise too.
So what is intelligence? I agree. 100% agree. So what is intelligence? And where is it located?
Same way there is no answer for this, also the way there is no answer for mind.
Mind is answer. There is no answer in our school textbooks and college textbooks. Okay? See, we have to understand, as we understand this point about self-realization, we should understand this, that not everything that we see is what we are always experiencing. And always what we are experiencing is not always that is real. Are you with us? You understand what I'm trying to say? See, we all can smell a nice rose. Rose smell. You smell rose? Yeah. Nice smell. It's got nice smell, right? Have you seen the smell?
No,
Can you see the smell?
no.
No. But we can experience it, right?
That is actually a sense.
Sense.
Yeah.
With the nose we can smell.
Yeah.
Yeah? So just stay with this. These may be new points. I'm sure many of you would have discussed these points, thought about it. If not, it's a good beginning. It is also a self-realization point. It is relevant to everyone all the time. Nobody can say, I don't have all these things. I'm not interested. This is how we work and interact with matter, okay? Now, just like the smell we cannot see, but we can experience, it's called subtle. Sukshma in Sanskrit it's called the word. It's called subtle. Similarly, the senses with which we are interacting with matter, the senses are gross. Eyes, yeah, they are gross. Controlling of these senses is mind, which is a treasure house of the constant interaction we are doing. Like the child is walking, roaming, touching, feeling, learning things. As he grows up, he learns a bit more. He doesn't do so much, but he's still doing other things. As he grows up more, his learning and feeling will be different. Yeah? All this is constantly stored in your, what do you call it? Which memory? A CPU, but what memory? RAM. That is where it controls. Now, you will see many times you are sitting in a place, suddenly mind wanders somewhere else. How does that happen? Something triggers something, and from your treasure house, from the whole RAM, an event is picked up and you are gone on that side. And when you are gone on that side, your physical body is in one place, the eyes are still open, the ears are still on, nose is still smelling, but you are gone somewhere else, totally. And as we go somewhere totally different, this each sense, this mind, takes away all our senses. Although physically we are in one place. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So mind is a treasure house of desires and experiences that we have got, and it is in the form which is called subtle. It's a subtle energy in us. Intelligence helps us to discriminate what we are gathering. For example, you are studying for an examination and you have to study hard for exams. As you study hard for exams, you suddenly hear nice music going on. Tick, tick, tick. And you write that music. You say, I know this music. And suddenly your feet are tapping there. Right? And with your one sense, ears, you're gone. Your mind also is under the control. You're gone in that music. And then what brings you back to say, hey, I've got exams tomorrow? That is intelligence.
Yeah, now I got the answer for intelligence. So if we can call a person intelligent who can use his experience and knowledge. Like, for example, we call a doctor, an intelligent doctor, who can use his knowledge and experience to solve any
To solve things. Yeah, that's right. So the sense, the intelligence can discriminate what is good, what is wrong. Okay, now understand this. If the school, all throughout our life, including our jobs, they are not teaching us about the senses, how they work. They do not have understanding about the mind. They do not know about intelligence. They can do IQ testing of only one aspect of things. You are good in IT. So how much you good in IT? I'm good in this. That is not my whole personality. As you said, somebody may be bad in this, good in that. How overall personality, how can you gauge? So the current education system, and we have not been taught this. That is the reason why we indiscriminately interact with matter all the time. Do you agree with this? And that is the reason why when we are not getting the skills how to interact with matter, we are under the control of the senses, where the mind is supposed to be controlling the senses and intelligence is supposed to be discriminating and controlling the mind. Is this sequence of events clear, all of you? Is it very clear? It has to be sharp. I mean, of course, these are new concepts for you guys. We understand this point. But it has to have a reasonable understanding of these points. Yeah? Now, in our quest for being happy, first point of being happy, does everyone want to be happy? All of us will say yes. In our quest to be happy, all this is constantly being used by us. which we did not know. Now we are knowing this. Okay? What are we using, sir? Sami? What are we using? Eyes to see.
Nose to smell. Mouth to taste.
Yeah, tongue to taste. Very good.
Ears to hear.
Ears to hear.
Eyes to sleep.
Eyes to see.
Sleep.
Sleep also. Oh, that's right. Eyes are good for sleeping. Thank you. Good point, sir. Yes. And they are controlled by the mind. And intelligence helps the mind to discriminate. But if we do not know this, then it's upside down. We don't use intelligence at all. The mind is in control of any of the senses. Yeah? Now there's a problem. It's not that simple. This is, as it is very hard, there is another problem. This is applicable to everyone, all living beings. Every living being is constantly unhappy. This is true. In between unhappiness, we have got some happiness. It's a hard one, you know. People are going to kill me to say that. Most of the people, if not, I would say everyone, is unhappy. And they are happy in the process of being unhappy. See, who's the most powerful person on this planet Earth? Yes,
God.
God. Wow, that's right. Thank you, sir. There's no answer beyond that. Right, correct. But as a human being, I'll qualify this. Thank you. He's a clever boy. So, who is the most intelligent person, human being, on earth? Powerful. Most powerful. Who's the most powerful person? Yeah. Yeah, who of them? Who among them on earth? Anyone please? Yes.
Trump.
Mr. Donald Trump, the President of America. Correct? Most powerful person, right? Correct? Most powerful than at least me, at least you. Right? Now I would have thought most powerful person meaning what does it mean of being most powerful? Let's define powerful. A person who is most powerful means what happens?
What happens or what it takes?
What it takes. What does he do? A powerful person means what?
He can do anything.
He can do anything. For example,
Anything means God.
he can walk on the street.
He can.
He can. Most powerful person, right? Correct? You can walk on the street. Can Mr. Trump walk on the street? Of course he can.
Yes, of course. He can.
But he needs to have the
Somebody-
street sanitized completely. He needs to have his security guards sniffing it out before anybody enters. He needs to have overhead chopper to make sure nobody's coming on him. He makes to sure that people don't come close to him to shake hands.
Yes.
Right?
And if
I
he-
would have thought most powerful means he can do whatever he wants to do, as you said. You're so right.
And if
I can
he-
do whatever I want to
if
do.
he is with his daughter, that means he needs double security.
That's right, with a lot of double security. You can go with your whole family like this, no problem. So, is the most powerful person? Common sense. Asking. Of course he's most powerful. Do you know something? Like, I can qualify this, but I fairly am aware about this. Okay? That if Mr. Donald Trump has to come to New Zealand, he will come, stay in a 5-star hotel, but before that, all the hotel, they sanitize the whole hotel. Sanitize means check out if there's any bugs or not bugs, but even wiretapping and all those things. All those things, enemies, no, this, that. Then floors above him, floors below him are all, sanitized again. They would also alter his toilet and wash basin and shower.
Alter in the sense?
They would take it away with him. His toilet. Take it away with him. Because if the enemies can check the toilet and find out what disease or some problems he's got. They have done it with so many other people, presidents of other countries, to know this guy has got cancer because that guy did not take his toilet away with him. And based upon it, their foreign policy happened. Did you know this? Well, I have read about it, so I know about it.
There is a strong possibility.
200% possibility. I know this is happening.
These people, they are crazy.
So now imagine, his predecessors have done this. They have done this to some other country's president or dictator. So obviously they will be concerned about themselves as well, right? Is he most powerful?
In some ways, yes, but in some ways, no.
No. So he's not always all powerful. Yeah?
People, they adore celebrities. Oh my God, Salman, this and that. But according to me, they don't have any life. They can stand on the road and can have Golgappa. No, they can't. But we can have.
So who's more powerful? It's a perception. Now we have discussed about this power as well, right? Please understand this point. When we are trying to become happy, we have to break down all these conceptions that we have got with our intelligence to discriminate things. This is applicable to everyone. Any faith, any religion. Nobody can say, I don't agree to this. Everyone agrees to this. Now, even if we want to be happy, we are always unhappy. This was the point, right? Now, what we do not know is broadly, there are three ways in which we are constantly bombarded with unhappiness. There are many reasons, but broad three categories. The three categories are the miseries that are inflicted by other people to us, other living beings, which we know. Boss is so angry. The insect comes and bites you, insect is also upset with you. Right? We can see that, right? Constantly. You walk into an office and somebody likes you, somebody doesn't like you, just by seeing you. Why? Doesn't make sense. Well, we do the same thing. So this is called science of self-realization. We have to change. We are not interested in others to change. This is to help our own self. Right? Second category is the miseries that are inflicted by natural calamities. Like excessive heat, excessive cold, earthquake, tsunamis, so many things. Constant disturbance. Do we have any control on this? Not really. Constant trouble. And who would like to guess the third broad category? Anyone like to guess the third broad category? You have to say? Broad category. Okay. Means a category. A category. Let's put a category. You know what category means? Quite good. One point. Which will be the third one, in which all others can be included. So one is miseries that are inflicted to us by other living beings. Second is by natural calamities. And the third one is, it's very close to us. Right, our own mind. We are our own selves' worst enemy. Do we know this? Do we know this? Do we accept it? We are our own worst enemy.
I can accept.
You can accept it? Very nice. How about you, man?
I'm at the age I have to accept.
Experience has taught you this.
Yeah.
Very good. How about you, sir? Yeah, well, how about you, sir? Really? How about you, sir? Young man?
Yeah.
You as well? Oh, very good. Yeah? Right. So we are our own worst enemies. The miseries inflicted by our own mind. Technically, these three are called Adi Bhautik Dukh, surrounding, Adi Daivik Dukh, means of the demigods, devas, who control the nature, they can miseries. And third is Adhyatmik Dukh, our own mind. And we thought my enemy is sitting somewhere in the dark corner. That dark corner is in my heart, in my mind. You see? Now, what we are discussing, what we have just discussed so far, this is helping us to understand what we are and how we are interacting with things. What is working in our favor and what is working against us. Unfortunately, this wasn't discussed or wasn't taught to us so far in education system. And with all these limitations, we had our own thinking to say, oh, if I'm the most powerful person, I'll be very happy. Of course you'll be happy. But you have to have all these things with you. Like you say, you can't have your sandwiches and street food. You can't. You sanitize it first. Whatever it is, and all those things. You carry your own toilet with you. How ridiculous it is. It has come to that. I would have thought most powerful person means walking on the street and everybody goes away. Or everybody comes to him and he's not afraid of anybody. He's happy. And everybody is happy to see him or her. This is because we are searching and seeing happiness in the temporary things. Okay? What are temporary things? We'll discuss about temporary and permanent things in our next session. We're completing this session now. But this session, these temporary things. What are temporary things mean? What is temporary means? Yeah, human only is temporary.
According to me, I think everything is temporary.
Everything is
We can't guarantee next day or next minute, or you can say next second.
Yeah, absolutely right. Everything changes. Okay? Let's do one thing, one exercise. You sit straight now, like this. Okay? This is a young man, like this. Yeah, shoulders straight, hands on your, knees like this. Now, on my third count, when I say 1, 2, 3, on my third count, take a deep breath. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Now exhale. Now, whatever we do, we will never get this breath back. Clap! You have lost one breath, just like that. Hooray! Right? This is how temporary we are. As you correctly said. Now, if we are going to place our happiness in these temporary things, are we going to be happy forever? We may be happy temporarily. Misery, more time. That's why unhappiness is more, happiness are in between islands on it. Right? Very good. What we discussed so far, is everything clear?
Yeah.
This becomes the foundation of our discussion for next week's. So what we discuss in a quick roundup, then we can have question and answers.
This class is like every week, this type of class.
Yeah, we'll have different workshops. This workshop is on the science of self-realization. 2 workshops, today and next Saturday. And then we'll have, after about 2 weeks break, we'll have one more sessions on different aspects.
2 years.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. Because we'll have,
Everyone is welcome. So
Everyone.
We want to know it.
everyone is welcome. And we put out emails, we put out our posts
Yes, I
also.
received.
Yeah. So that will give you full information on this, and you can just respond to that, just come over, that's fine, Alright. So just to quickly summarize, and then we'll have question answers. So we've got everything in our compact format. What we discussed is, we started off by saying, and just asking the question, does everyone present here wants to be happy? We said yes, right? Then we discussed why people who become happy and why the same people become unhappy. We discussed upon that point too. We were then broadly discussing about the causes of unhappiness, or the nature of unhappiness. That brought us to the aspect of the senses that we are interacting with constantly. Eyes to see, nose to smell, ears to hear, tongue to taste, skin to touch. And these are called knowledge acquiring senses. They acquire knowledge, and we acquire knowledge all the time, like young man, acquiring knowledge, all of you, And we have realized that acquiring knowledge in the correct way is the way in which either we are happy or unhappy. We can choose this. How we can choose it? Because senses are controlled by the mind, and mind itself cannot control it. It requires dictation of the intelligence to say, use this way, use that way. Yeah? Now, along with this, we discussed the aspect of the constant hammering of this body by 3 outside elements. 2 outside, 1 inside. Which is one is of other living beings creating disturbance for us, the nature, and our own mind. Right? All this keeps us entangled in our thinking, where we cannot clearly focus upon how we are going to use these senses to become happy in what I want. Okay, these are simplistic terms. Next session we talk about how we remain happy always. The second part of it. Because there's matter, there's antimatter. Those who are in science, like you've got, you will find this whole discussion is very interesting. And everything is a science. Science meaning you observe something, based upon observation, you put a hypothesis to say like this or like that, and you try to prove it, and if it is proved, you accept it. Simple. That's why it is called science of self-realization. Alright? Very nice. Does anyone have any questions before we finish the discussion today?
Everything is so clear.
Everything is clear. Thank you very much.